So, Dan.
Oh man, I think this is one thing that you and I have like collectively been giddy about all week to talk about, and it's something that's really dear and close to my heart too.
I think
it's chaos time.
I think
it's
chaos time.
It's chaos time.
All right, guys, this is the segment of the show where I get real heated and real mad about something I'm real passionate about.
So I will be normally okay.
Gotta stretch for this.
Kyle knows that. What's nice with Kyle when we wanted to do this, because we talked about this, is that we both can get really passionate about the gaming industry. So a lot of times Kyle says we want to play the dynamic to where we can do devil's advocate and basically, or I can be devil's advocate and just get Kyle riled up as much as possible. So that way we can like be able to hear like different angles of what people say now. In this particular instance, Kyle knows I agree with him 100%. But there's going to be some points in here where I'm just going to interject and I'm going to play devil's advocate.
There's going to be people who are not going to agree with me on this side.
Well, yeah, but and I'm going to say that I'm going to basically be like throwing stuff at Kyle that I don't agree with myself. But this is why we're having this discussion, because we can get different viewpoints. So, Kyle,
there are people waiting to see how mad you get me right now.
Because since I'm going to be throwing this at you, let's have you introduce the
topics. All right. So, guys, as you may know, Cuphead is an amazing game coming to Xbox One only, as well as PC,
yes.
as it
frickin' should.
Freaking should, yeah. Censorship here. Gotta make this family friendly. And I can't wait to play it, you know? And I rejoice about that fact. And some people out there think that I should be ashamed, that I should be exclusive shamed for appreciating my console getting a win for once in this
Kyle,
world.
I think it's bullcrap that Cuphead's not coming to PS4 and it's Xbox exclusive only.
What was that, Dan?
I said it's bullcrap that Cuphead is only Xbox exclusive and won't come to PS4. I think it's crap.
Are you butthurt that you're 2-to-1 console sales and you still don't get a good game? Is that? Does PlayStation owners not have enough good exclusives like Horizon Zero Dawn, Persona 5, God of War? There's too many!
The Last of Us.
There's too many! And like, don't get me wrong, I think Xbox One has great exclusives. We have Halo, we have Forza, we have Gears, but like we've had those again and again and again. And so we finally
get a good
and we got
exclusive.
We finally get a good exclusive.
That's
just
great.
like when we had Limbo
it
to
looks
start.
beautiful.
When we started with Limbo, or when we were the first to have Castle Crashers. Like, Xbox has always been the home of these amazing indie games. Yet this time, this generation, we have to be bastardized for holding that game to ourselves? Like, no. I cannot and will not stand for this. Amazing games are made exclusive on systems all the time. Just because your system is 2-to-1 doesn't mean that you earn the privilege to cry as a community base to get this game to be exclusive. Or not exclusive for your system, and it never will be. I swear, I will be so mad if Cuphead ever comes to Sony at any point in history.
So here's actually,
the community doesn't deserve it.
Get ready to get triggered, because they said that Cuphead will be only exclusive to Xbox, but they said future sequels or titles may not be exclusive.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay, cool.
But the original Cuphead can
never
touch that system.
I feel like they're gonna but they're gonna do exactly
what
Titanfall did.
Yeah.
Titanfall 1 was exclusive to Xbox One.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna see how it goes, and they'll unless Microsoft throws tons of money at them, they'll probably be multi-plat with a sequel, if they do a sequel to Cuphead.
Or at least, you know what, and I'll allow this. I'm going to retract a little bit of my statement. If Microsoft puts it out on other consoles, as long as it's the publisher. So y'all have to pay Microsoft a little bit of that cash to get your game.
I'd be okay with that too, because
so I'm okay with Minecraft. But it's just like, and it's this media bias though too. It goes past this community.
It really is.
It's PlayStation does this. Oh, look at all these amazing exclusives on PlayStation. Even though we said, who cares about indie this year at E3? Microsoft stands behind that, introduces a bunch of new indies.
All day.
Indie, all over the place, showing mad respect for raw games. Not just the Call of Duties, not the Destinies, not the AAAs, but everything. They showed everything. They respected every gamer on that stage, and then they still got slammed for not doing enough. The Xbox One X is too expensive. Cuphead's an exclusive. Woe is me.
Okay, real quick. Ooh. Okay, I'm going to rant for just 1 second.
Oh, you got an opinion?
Okay,
it's not the Deus.
Oh man, it's chaos right now.
It's chaos.
This is what pisses me off about this whole situation is that it makes me so mad that all these industry experts for months before the Xbox One X was announced, was announced.
Premium.
They say premium console, $499 is about the right price. Everyone knew this is where we were going to go.
Yeah.
Microsoft comes on stage and says, hey, this. And then every piece of media, it's too expensive. There's not enough there for it.
Even the Xbox
fanboys.
fanboys.
This is why the Xbox One X is going to be an amazing console because it's not just first-party exclusive titles that are going to get the 4K treatment. It's third-party as well. Yeah. Metro Exodus, like Deep Silver and I can't remember the exact company that makes it. It's who makes Metro? 4A Games.
Yeah.
They said, look, we're going to give the 4K treatment because we know we can make our game look that good. And the fact is, it's I don't understand how people don't get it. Like, this console is not going to be what puts Microsoft back in the fight against Sony.
It's not
Phil
meant
Spencer
to be, though.
said, this is the premium console for gamers who want to get 4K. You want rich graphical fidelity? This is the best place to play. If you don't care about 4K, buy an Xbox One S. Buy the original Xbox. We know this isn't going to sell as consoles, but this is what we want to put for there. There's a demand there, and we want to meet that demand.
They're putting experience in front of price point. They're putting experience in front of consoles sold. It is not... And like I've said many a time, when they open this floodgate, when they truly make your PC run as an Xbox, they won't care. Their install base to capture software purchases on their store without you going to game software. They're cashing. Like, people need to wake up. They don't care. They do.
Microsoft can run so much money off
Microsoft cares so much, but they don't care about the console sales.
Yeah,
they do. I'm sure some shareholder, some person in a room is like, we only sold 3 million of these when we needed to sell 8.
Yeah, but you know, Microsoft as a whole, they're raking in so much money from their software sales. It doesn't matter about like the console sales, and that's the thing people don't understand. They're like, oh, Microsoft's hurting so bad for money. Honestly, they're not.
If they were hurting bad for money, they would have taken a loss on this console and put it up for $399.
Exactly.
If they were that painful. If this generation was hurting
there's
that
too
much.
many people out there who believe that Microsoft is the one who's really truly losing here. And granted, sure, they might be losing in terms of sales of consoles.
And they're only losing in comparison, everybody's winning. Everybody is selling new numbers, except for Nintendo, and it's hard for Nintendo to do that because the Wii was an anomaly, and it's the fastest selling console in history. Exactly. So it's like Nintendo is its own worst enemy when you're comparing sales numbers. But like every console has been infinitely more successful than last generation when you compare that console to its own family sales.
The Xbox One has already outsold the Xbox 360, and people still think it's not that good. Like, they look at it and saying it's terrible.
The Xbox lost. Go home.
Let's be real here. Like, Xbox One sold more Xboxes than 360. Sony, they did good this year. Not this year, but this generation. They outsold their PlayStation 3 by a league and long shot. Yeah. But you want them to, because you don't want to see gaming companies go under. Like, it was hard when you saw Atari went down. Like, it was one of the toughest. I mean, it was tough because...
It sucks when you watch any giant or somebody who was so well-respected and regarded, and the loss of all those jobs and stuff. You never want to see it, but I mean, like, it was time to go. But
yeah, no, I totally know what you mean. Like, it sucks to see that kind of stuff happen, but it's like, what people don't understand is that people get so wrapped up in the us versus them, or Xbox versus PlayStation. It's like, dude, look, they're not paying you to go out there and spread their name and like talk about how good they are.
Trust me,
what you need to do is let them fight themselves,
right?
Because they're going to innovate and make better content.
Is the best
thing it's the
for
best
the
thing for us. If people say Xbox should just drop out, if Xbox dropped out, PlayStation would turn into shit. I'm just going to say it because there's going to be no innovation. There's no reason for them to push harder because there's no one to fight against. Who are they going to fight against? Nintendo? Nintendo can't even compete on the same level as Sony.
And the irony is Nintendo's not even playing the same game. And I'm more and more thinking that Microsoft is not either. That Sony is the only one really trying to be the staple in the console market at this point.
It's true.
Nintendo is trying to capture more handheld and still keep their foot in, give the gamers what they want and still have that TV experience. But they designed that entire device to be picked up and taken somewhere.
Yeah, but you know what, though? It's one hell of a machine.
It is. And more and more, I come to love my Switch in ways that I didn't think I was going to when I originally purchased it, or ways that I hesitated before pulling the trigger.
I see people bring it to work, and they'll sit down, hey, you want to play Mario Kart with me? And I'm like, sure. I'm like,
I'll take a quick 15,
before.
Right? Like, get the Wiggly card out.
Yeah. Dude, you know that freaking Wiggly Bug Caterpillar cart freaking works
There's
too.
better ones now.
No, dude, listen,
I've unlocked more,
I
man.
beat someone earlier this week with the Wiggly cart. They had like one of the higher end carts, and just because that drifting, man,
just
kill it.
I
love it.
But yeah, I'm just like. Back to the media bias, though. Like, there were so many articles, so many this and that. Like, here's why Cuphead not coming to PS3 is a bad thing. And it's like, how can you say that? Like, because I don't see these articles when Sony is holding something over Microsoft.
Like, no one goes, oh, man, Days Gone. Like, it's really terrible for everyone that Days Gone isn't coming to Xbox One. No, that's a good thing.
Nope.
This is what if you get rid of console exclusives, there's no reason to play a console anymore. Right. You would just get a PC.
Exactly.
Because then you don't have to upgrade every like couple years when a new console comes out. I mean, let's be like, dude, I have a 1080 graphics card.
Yeah.
That graphics card is gonna be good for like 6 to 7 years. If I just run everything at 1080. There's no reason to upgrade. I have no reason to have a console.
Okay, Mr. 4K.
So, yeah, right. So, I don't play my PC games in 4K just because you'd have to SLI the cards and it gets too expensive at that point. Like, I'm okay with just 1080 right now. But outside of that, though, it's definitely frustrating because, like, you watch like you said. So many people are like, oh, like Sony did so good with like they have Death Stranding from Kojima. They have
which we're not going to see until 2019, 2020.
The Spider-Man game that's coming
2018.
out. They're very exciting. But I'm not getting pissed off and butthurt that it's not coming to Xbox because like I know like these are console deals. Like this is business in the industry.
I was just mad. Like you just never see these articles written like boo you for not bringing this artistic game to other. Like, yes, Cuphead is innovative in the way that it's all hand-drawn. It's using this amazing art style taken from cartoons, and it's not even... people so often associate with the Disney art style, but the reality is that all of Cuphead's art is inspired by old propaganda cartoons and things that were used in very negatively.
A lot of Hanna-Barbera cartoons, it has a kind of aspect to like the old like Cartoon Network, like when they would show like the old Hanna-Barbera
right, and
cartoons.
And so being the Cuphead character and kind of fighting these propaganda themed or kind of esque characters, this is an amazing experience. And I understand like why you feel like you're missing out on it. To be blunt,
buy an Xbox One.
But like but with my PS4, like I kept seeing, oh, I really want to play that. I really want to play that. I really want to. What did I do? I bought a PS4 because when you like, people need to stop. Like as much as I am a fanboy, I love my PS4. I love the games I play with Sony. I just feel like I so often, as somebody who actually loves my Xbox, I have to defend it all the time because it's always. The shit at the bottom of the hill.
It's way too there's a lot of bias toward Microsoft.
It's like I don't need to defend my PS4, so I don't talk about it.
Yeah, and like to put a staple onto it, I mean, like to be 100% honest, some of my favorite games
on PS4
so I'll say the two games right now the one game I played through, Persona 5, it's definitely one of my like top 3 favorite games. It's not my number 1. And right now I'm playing through Horizon Zero Dawn, which is the most visually pleasing game I think I've ever played.
Yeah.
In a long time. Just because, I mean, sure, some games can get the graphics really well, but when this game's graphics are so good to where, like, you're looking at it and I'm feeling like, hey, they almost look like they recorded a person. Like, they recorded Aloy as an actual person to an extent. And she's just running around in, like, a simulated game world. It's like, am I actually controlling the character? Like, is this really happening?
But I never would write an article.
Yeah, I wouldn't be upset that Microsoft doesn't have it because I know Guerrilla Games is a Sony company. I would never, ever in a million years expect they would bring a game to Microsoft. Maybe they will one day, but you just don't expect them to.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to get mad because they don't. It's illogical and it's irrational to do so.
Yeah. I'm just so sick of it. Like... And it's on everything. It's just everything Microsoft does. Everything Xbox does. It's just...
It's just... There's got to be a point to where people have to stop being fanboys and just congratulate the other side. Like, just look, like, you guys finally got, like, hey, Microsoft is finally getting a really cool game. Like an original game that has there's nothing like it on the market right now.
Right.
So... Rather than being all pissed off and angry, be like, hey, you guys finally got a good game for your console that you guys have been worried about exclusives for. All you ever hear Sony, like, people talk about, yeah, good luck with your Xbox because you have no exclusives. Yeah, you're absolutely right. There's no effing exclusives that are out besides
I don't agree with that
Gears
either.
War, Forza. Those, okay, besides your basically Microsoft's
Quantum Break.
But you see, ReCore was just okay. It
Still
wasn't
an
a great
exclusive.
game. True.
And there's a lot of Sony exclusives that turn out to be just okay too.
Quantum Break did actually pretty good.
Yeah.
So
it didn't sell well, but it
didn't sell well. But
well.
it did really good because a lot of people know, especially with Remedy. Remedy can make some really good games.
Yeah. And the Rare collection.
Yeah, and that was really good too. But it's frustrating because Sony does get a lot of big AAA titles as exclusives, and then Microsoft gets a really cool indie, and everyone loses their shit about it.
Yeah, so
it's frustrating. It frustrates me just because it's like,
or it's like in the way that Microsoft has embraced the indies too.
Like it's good because some of the best games that get reviewed are indie games. Like Ori and the Blind Forest is not a AAA game.
No,
and that's
it's also another exclusive that we've locked down too.
Critically acclaimed, and I know so many people who told me like when we watched it at my house before we played Dungeons and Dragons.
Like I'm crying.
Everyone's like
trailer.
Everybody's like tears about it because it's so like heartwarming and it's so like heartfelt, and it's just like that's why we do gaming and stuff. But like to get too irrational about like, oh, I'm mad because this one game's not coming over here. And, of course, like, some people say, well, don't make the argument, buy a PS4. Okay, well, then don't bitch when it doesn't come to your console. Like, just deal with it then. Like, I knew, like, the moment the new consoles came out back in 2013, I was like, look.
I'm going to have to buy both of these.
I knew it. When I saw Destiny, I'm like, I need to get that on my PS4, even though I got it for my Xbox and I hated it.
I didn't hate it on my
I didn't like it on my Xbox. I liked it on the PS4. But that being said, I just knew, like, I needed both consoles, and what I did, I just saved up. I pre-ordered my GameStop, put money down as it came along, and that way when they came out, I had the money in my hands right away. Like, and some people say, well, I can't do that. Well, I get it, then it's not for you then. But if that's one of those things.
And I mean, like, I don't want to get into that. Like, I'm privileged to own all the consoles that I do.
I don't want to,
like that. I don't want to get into that, like, sucks to suck.
Right.
Sorry, make more money.
Yeah.
Like, Sony obviously learned their lesson when they said you'd get a second job to pay for a $600 console.
Yeah,
I will not, and I want to be conscious of that. But at the same time, like, to a degree, and this is part of why this show exists, is that it is your responsibility to seek those opinions, to research, to find the kind of games that you would like to play, or at least seek opinions on games that you think you might look to play. And so without, the work of a podcast or a review or an article or the opinions of people who are playing these games, how do you know what to get? And so I think some people maybe felt burned because they got an Xbox One and they like what's on the PS4 more. Yeah. Or maybe it's now the PS4 people who bought it because all their other friends bought it, and now they're kind of like seeing the grass is greener on the other side, but they're like, I can't afford another console.
Sure.
And it's just, unfortunately, that's the way it goes. If somebody buys a PC versus a Mac, if somebody buys an Android versus an iPhone, you always leave something on the table when you go
you're always
on a different thing.
You're always making some sort of sacrifice somewhere down the line.
Yeah, so it's like, that, it's as much as like, I'm not going to say, oh, boohoo, you can't afford it. I will say, though, it's your responsibility to know what you want, and also to understand that when you're buying a system, you're also buying into a company's vision, and the kind of games and experiences you're going to have on that system have to align with that company, and you need to look at that company, too. That's why I buy my Xboxes. That's why I stand by Microsoft so firmly, because I'm looking at that company's vision, and even if it's not with the games, they're giving it to me with the service. So,
well, no, I think you touched on a great point there, because the way I look at it too is that being responsible, figuring out what you want to buy, it's huge. I mean, it's the biggest thing ever, because, like you said, you're buying into a company's vision, and between yourself and I this might ignite some flames for some people who might not like it. Sony pretty much basically said they didn't care about indies.
Yeah,
at
or at least this year.
At least this year, they said
they built their life off of it and then cast it away because now they have their 2-to-1 in sales.
And Microsoft knows a good idea to get people into Xbox One is to do indies because it's lower cost games.
We're seeing a flip script.
But it's good though because like we were saying, some of the best games that you get to play are indie games because they're not AAA. They get to tell the story that they want, and they don't have a publisher breathing down their neck saying, "All right, this is what we want this to be." Oh, the next Battlefield game better have this because like this other game had this, and this, and this, so we got to do this for this one. Right. Make sure it's a step up, and make sure it's on Frostbite 4 this time, and they're not beholden to that. They can tell their story how they want, and with their entire vision, they go around the budget that they set for themselves, and the deadline's not the same as what they get hit with like a AAA studio. So, I mean, to me,
the indie experiences are where innovation happens.
Yeah, and seeing companies, like, when we look at the Last Night, for example, like, how awesome, it looks like Cyberpunk Blade Runner, like, 2D, but like 3D at the same time with the pixels.
I'm so excited for
that. Yes,
I'm
really excited, too. And, like, when I saw Cuphead, I'm like, this is the most unique game I've ever seen.
And
then when you hear it's hand-drawn, I'm just like, how do they do it?
right?
Like, how did the hand draw make it work?
But yeah, there's that appreciation to it, and it's just, I don't know. It's frustrating.
It's so frustrating because like you don't want to fanboy and then just rage out like people do, like the keyboard warriors. There we go. just planting the seeds. I'm like trying to get you going just a little bit by throwing little things out there might spark the flame a little bit. But no, this, you know, I could even argue this goes back to when I texted you the other night when I was frustrated because I was on Steam.
Yep.
And after Ark being an early access game, which people knew when you buy Ark, it says early access game, so you know what you're getting your hands on.
You're not getting a full game.
Almost
you can assume that game is broken upon purchase.
Exactly.
And if you don't assume that, I'm sorry, but a game that is not finished, and I mean, like, I always say this with exclusion to MCC, or Master Chief Collection, I don't buy games that aren't finished.
Yeah.
Knowingly.
But
So it's like...
on top of it being a game that's not finished, like, almost every early access game on Steam, 9 times out of 10 do they raise the price for the overall game when it gets greenlit?
Every single time, because part of the benefit of early access is you're the one buying into it early, you know you're buying a lesser product, and you are contributing to the success or the development of that game. And for some people, that's enough. Some people, they love that. They love being a part of that process. Aaron, our close friend, is so adamant about being a part of that process.
Yeah.
He loves it. You should hear him talk about Star Citizen. Like,
yeah, I've heard a lot about it too.
And it's one of those things, like, I get where he's coming from, but I, at the same time, go, it's not my job to make your game.
Sure.
So,
yeah,
I understand, like, I understand getting gameplay feedback and data helps make your game, but that's not my job.
Right.
And I'm not, like, in a time where there's so much noise, so many games, so many options.
And it's rough right now, too.
And it's so rough. With, you know, the coding going up, you know, 10 and 12-year-olds are learning how to make video games, you know? It's like, the market is flooded.
Yeah.
And for me to take time out of my day to play a game that could delete my save, or glitch out in the middle of the match,
or be completely unplayable.
Or just be completely unplayable, specifically when I'm trying to budget my money or save for something, like, I can't do that.
No, I totally get it. And see, with what you say, completely reasonable.
Yeah.
The problem I have is that when people know this is an early access game, and the developers have put that out there, and then they say, hey, like, when we release the game, we're going to increase the price, but those who are early adopters will get it discounted, or maybe they pay like $10 more, whatever. And then these people they're on Steam saying, I'm going to download because they raised the price of it. But you knew when you bought the early access game that it was not finished, and it was going to cost more. They had it all over their Steam page. Right. I don't know if it's still there now, because they might have changed it. Right. But I knew when I first looked into Ark, the reason why I didn't buy it is because they said, this is not a finished game. Like, it's this cost now, but it will most likely be more when we release it. And it's always in the
terms of service, whether you choose to read that or not.
And what frustrates me is, like I told you, and it might not even be, like, I might have misplaced, like, saying self-entitlement, but the problem that that I have with gamers like this is that it's a mentality to where, like, because they disagree with it, no one should touch it, or it's complete shit because I don't like that they do that.
Yeah,
it takes away the fact to where it's the thing. It's kind of similar along the lines to where it's like you can't. It's not fair because if you dislike this to say this game is crap because you feel slighted that they raised the price for it, but even though you bought it when it was early access for $30,
or like I think this brings up a funny memory.
It was even on sale for $15 during the Steam summer sale. So how can you be mad? Like.
You had opportunities.
You had plenty of time
Put
to
it
buy
on your wish list. You get an email notification every time it goes on sale.
Exactly.
But it brings me back to, like, this funny thing. One of our earliest interactions where I just bold-faced looked at you and I said, Star Wars Battlefront is a trash game. And you got, like, in that moment, I thought you did not like me. We were two new coworkers where I was like, oh, this Dan dude hates me now.
It was
because you were just like, you take that back. You got so mad at me. And it was just like...
It's not so much... But it was just like... It's not so much as the game itself. It's my love for Star Wars. It's why I would defend it to the end.
Which was really funny because earlier in this podcast, you were talking about how they slighted a lot of gamers. The season pass wasn't good, and I'm like, where was this Dan when I said the game was trash?
I was so pissed about that season pass with EA. Like that's why, like right now with Battlefront 2, like I feel like they're getting it right. They realize like, hey, like, and the reason why this is my biggest gripe about it, besides the fact that it was lacking content and like a single player story and like just the multiplayer like felt a little dry. Yeah. It just like. You can't milk the original trilogy era. You can't like the rebellion like era. You can't do that. Like it's overdone. Like it's been done. I think the first Battlefront didn't even have anything from the prequel era. I think
Yeah.
the original Battlefront 2 had it like the prequel era. But it's already been done before. You don't need to keep rehashing the original trilogy. We all know what we fell in love with. You don't have to make us fall in love with it again.
Right.
And I feel like now, I mean, granted, we already saw in the trailer for Battlefront 2, they have Hoth there, so Hoth is coming back. So you can even argue it's been overdone too much. But like me, I like Hoth. And
it's a cornerstone.
And seeing it get updated, of course, in a newer version to where they're going to update the way that the game plays, they're going to update the weapons, they're going to make sure there's more content in there, there's better ways to spend your points, that's not anything I broke an NDA. That's actually like on the internet, which is cool.
Okay.
But to see
I was
how
about
they're
to be
making
like, oh yeah, are we getting careful?
yeah, no. Anything I'm saying right now is you can find all on the internet. It's
Okay.
all like openly talked about. Like I haven't said anything like NDA breaching right now about Battlefront 2. But,
Kill the feed, kill the
yeah,
feed.
kill the feed. Oh god, they're shutting us down. I'm going to jail. No, but I like that they looked at it and they said, hey, like we pissed off a lot of people. We alienated our player base by once again, like we talked about earlier, by putting the season pass out there, making the costs so exponentially high to where you're splitting up all the player base based upon the map packs you have.
Yeah.
To where now you're like, hey, we'll just make our money through microtransactions because it works.
Mm-hmm.
It works,
Yeah.
and you don't have to pay them if you don't want to.
And
They're
you can
completely
earn them
optional.
with in-game stuff.
Exactly, you can earn them and unlock them in game without paying for them.
Yeah.
So there's no reason for people to get mad about microtransactions, which some people are just get red in the face.
People are gonna
about
get
it.
mad about that no matter what, because
They
I
have
get it,
their
I
opinion.
understand it. People always use the argument, X amount of years ago, I paid less than 60 or whatever, and I got a full game, right?
But
But
game development then is not the same as now,
thank
too.
Thank you.
Like it's the cost
the
for what.
space is so different.
Yeah, well, I mean, look,
And
like,
what we request and what we demand cannot be done in a general
I mean,
sense.
sure,
I think there's
they
a lot of DLC that doesn't need to exist.
they can give us a full complete game built on a 360 engine for $60.
Yeah.
Like they can make Gears of War 4 a $60 game with all the content in there on Xbox 360 if they really wanted to.
Yeah, but it's not going to look pretty.
Exactly.
There's not going to be
It's
as
not
many
gonna be
enemies
smooth.
on
You're
screen.
not-
It's not going to be smooth. There's not going to be
and
as many
people don't
weapons. The
understand.
textures are going to look
It
bad. The
costs money.
audio alone takes how many
Oh
gigs
my
out of a game?
God.
Because the audio in all of these games is uncompressed. Because if it was, you hear it, and it would sound so bad. But once
Honestly,
again,
audio is the biggest.
it's one of the biggest
it's-
parts because they do not compress the audio.
You
in
have
your
to
game
have the
files.
raw audio. You have to have the raw files.
Yeah. So I mean,
It becomes it's just people don't understand like in the
And
casual
I think-
gamer. It's
And I want
it's
to
really
say,
the
like,
casual
people don't
gamer.
understand, like, you damn peasants, but it is a matter of education. It's a
it's-
matter of discussing.
it's
and
more
so
the
many
casual
people,
gamer.
the casual gamer,
They don't
looks
look
at
into this.
They
They
go to
don't know.
IGN, they read a headline, and they don't, they're maybe not taking those deeper dives, or listening to the gamers or like the press conferences or GDC, or listening to the developers talk about how these games are made, some of the challenges that they're facing with hardware limitations, like all of this wealth of knowledge that that I'm putting out here. Like, I've spent a lot of time to listen and to hear that, and I've earned the right to know this. But it in a way, it's also, I feel, my obligation to inform other people of some of these challenges too, because it's so easy to get very passionate, very upset, very heated about something when you don't understand how it works. We see it every day.
Yeah,
We
that's
see
all you
it
need is
every
just
day.
have the wrong title or just clickbait something to flame the fans or fan the flames, and people will lose it.
Flame the fans.
I mean, you could because it's
Flame
fan
on.
Yeah, yeah. It's a slippery slope sometimes,
It
and
is.
it's like we were saying, the casual gamer doesn't do the type of research because they just go off of what they hear.
Where's my Call of Duty and my Madden? Where are my friends
or where's my
playing
NBA
that?
2K?
Yeah.
Or where's my whatever. That's good.
But more importantly,
That's
where are
good
my
enough.
friends playing it? And like
that's the
PS4
most
and all
important
that.
thing for
Like,
people. Like, it's not like and that's when people don't understand. Like you were saying, like they don't look into it. So you could say they're ignorant of it because if they don't look into it.
But that's the problem. And like, back to this main point. That is the problem with these clickbait titles that shame a company for their exclusivity in the headline. Polygon. What is the exact headline for this Polygon article that I'm referencing to?
Cuphead won't be coming to PS4.
Sub headline. It's a Windows and PC Xbox exclusive, full stop. Like, we didn't know that already. Like, we're stating the obvious as a headline here, and let's see, and readers and fans are upset. Like, I don't understand. I don't get it.
A reader asked if the game was 100% lifetime PC Microsoft exclusive, to which the Cuphead team ended up saying, yes, this Cuphead game is exclusive to Xbox and PC, with Steam and Windows 10 versions available at launch, and GOG release, likely shortly after. They will have a Mac version down the road, potentially a Linux version beyond that, unless of course they lose their what did they say, they lose their house or whatever.
Yeah.
Basically, like if they get bought up by Microsoft.
Yeah.
Which
Or not even that.
Which Microsoft
like,
might do though.
But they do own the IP, and that's something new, important to state. Like you said earlier, that it insinuates that if they own the IP, they will have the right to
The Cuphead
continue
team
to
does still own it.
make
Microsoft has
other
not bought
Cuphead
it.
games. And I guess the workaround, though, the trick to this, as I've seen it in the past, though, with a lot of these indie games, is that they own the Cuphead IP. So basically, if they release like other content though and call it a different thing,
Yeah, they can do it.
They could technically release the game on another system, and it would be like the Super Edition.
Sure.
So it's like we saw that with Guacamelee. That was a PS Vita, PS4 exclusive. Then Guacamelee Super whatever
Super
edition,
Melee Turbo Edition
Super
came out, or
Super
whatever it
Melee
was.
Turbo Edition came out, and it's like
Xbox One.
now I can play it on
games
Xbox
with Gold
One.
at that time. Yeah, it was a
which
pretty
is
fun game.
yeah, it's a great game. Great game, interesting concepts. Love the way they work with the world of the dead, world of the living,
Real quick, because that way everyone can know this.
Yeah.
Until Dawn, if I'm correct, is on PlayStation Plus this month for free.
I believe so.
Which I've
it's like
I never
sign
played
in
it,
yourself
but
and grab
I love
that.
horror games, and I heard some really good. It's a good atmospheric horror game where you get to make the decisions and you get to watch it play out. So I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah. So I think with that, we've pretty much beat this topic into the ground.